Mr. Tom Paonessa, please.
All right, Tom.
Before I begin, what I want to read is not actually a poem. This was written by the editor of a book of poetry in his introduction, and it talks about what he thinks a poet is. Okay. The only real reward a poet can hope for, most of the time, is in doing the best possible job on each poem, since it may never be read anyway. But looking at life honestly, the only permanent possessions people have are love and wisdom. In fact, they're not the same thing. And after sorting out the complex appearances of poetic language and systems, it turns out that the object of experiencing poetry is to make discoveries, whether about the poet, the art, or the world, and the fervent hope of wisdom. When a writer turns out to be silly, very limited, or trivial, very often, even if there is no big question of talent, it's frequently because he is unable to free himself from desires and pretensions long enough to learn one thing. You might almost say the best poet is the one who can forget his art and his opinions while in the process of writing. And that, as all sages agree, is the only road to wisdom. Playing with words and own reward. Take away a rich man's money and he is a poor man. Denude a wise one and never much has changed. Okay. Given that, I hope that I'm not trivial or something. The name of this is The Warrior King's Soliloquy. When it comes right down to it, I believe that poetry is not supposed to be something that's supposed to be an earthly of your soul. The basic goal of poetry is to write good poetry. I think that should always be your first goal. And I wrote this in the style of William Shakespeare. And that was very challenging for me because before anything else, poetry should be entertainment. And a lot of people don't consider Shakespeare to be entertaining. I did the best I could, and I hope that you like it. It's called The Warrior King's Soliloquy. Am I worthy to lead? There are many who think that I am. There are enough of those who follow. But I know that this is a question that warrants strong consideration, deserving of attention, and encumbered by division, so that the truth might in fact be rendered slain upon the floor before us. And I shall approach such a challenge with caution and with respect. For I know that that very blood which drips down the cross and into the flames of hell, quenching for some and igniting for others, that very blood which courses through the veins and the bowels of the earth, that very blood, both innocent and pure, which was spilled upon the altar for your redemption and for mine, that very blood listens to my words now. Am I worthy to lead? There are times, I must confess, when I answer this question with a resounding yes. And there are times when I feel that I am a god. The weight of the wind of the world fills my sky sails amidst the scatterings and the shatterings of a children's breeze. And the star cables of my soul stretch out across the sky. Constellation fragments of her thoughts for me. Synaptic chasms sparring across the breadth of my soul. While the brooding and plaintive flesh of the earth sunk at granite feet, planted like so many rows of corn and wheat. The whole of the world is my throne, and the gates of hell my footstool. Frightened child kid-feared tidbits, combined with the fallen dreams of yester-age, and the foolish pride of children pups, forged together to form my scepter. And the November morning hoarfrost, and the clattering jaws of blinking Irish girls, they be my blade. Yes, there are times when I think that I am a god. But then, there are other times when I think that I am not even a man. But who then is to burden the blame of this upon my own, when I, among true others, must seek out my manhood in this new age world in which we live and fester, where we must bow and scrape so as never to offend. A world in which we must pay for crimes never committed, where we are held accountable for the sins of the past, for the sins of fathers and fathers' fathers who came before us, beggar fools and warrior queens, jester crowns and marish steeds, the worthiness of one might be the pallor of another, and who among you is worthy to lead? Come before me now, so I might knight thee, for I know that I am not worthy of the honor. There are two things now that I know certain of God. One, yes, there is a God. And two, I ain't it. So then, perhaps I do not have unlimited power over all that I foresee, but I wonder if I might be enough of a one to be a man. I say that it is time for us to be men once again, afraid not to embrace the hordes of the past, for if we must be imbued with the blight of their sins, then why not also benefit from their example? Manhood. There was once a time when that word alone could inspire kings to rule and warriors to conquer, yet today, the word spoken is enough to reduce the speaker to fool. I know not why this is so. We live in a world where there are no more rites of passage, where a boy no longer becomes a man through his first hunt or his first battle, and we have done nothing to fill the void. I have pointed where we have been and where we are no longer. Now perhaps it is for someone mightier than myself to show the way from here. But make no mistake, there is no stench as foul as a forgotten soul burning in a hell of his own creation. And no scent as sweet as that same said man resurrected from that heat and guided towards the light from which he was created in the first. Considering the length of that one, I'm just going to finish up with two real short ones. Okay. First, you do not conquer the mountain. You become one with it. And then you reach the sky together. And then, a picture paints 1,000 words. But there are certain words that can convey what 1,000 pictures cannot say.